Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we like to take you on journeys, through some pretty captivating information.
Yeah.
Today, we're stepping into a world.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. It's a world of mystery and intrigue. A story that kind of blends that Cold War paranoia
Right.
with the possibility of extraterrestrial contact.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the story of Valiant Thor.
Valiant Thor.
Have you heard of Valiant Thor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a story that's captivated, imaginations for decades and continues to spark debate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a handsome, human-like alien from Venus
Yeah.
arriving on Earth in 1957, offering advanced technology and messages of peace.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like a movie.
It does. It really does.
So our main source for this deep dive is a book called Stranger at the Pentagon,
Okay.
written by Frank E. Stranges. And right off the bat, it's important to acknowledge that this is our sole source of information,
Right.
which makes it crucial to examine the claims closely.
Absolutely. And I think it's also important to remember that the book was written in the 1960s.
Yeah.
A time when, interest in UFOs was surging.
You're sure.
And the Cold War was fueling all sorts of anxieties and speculations.
All right.
So understanding that context is key to unpacking the story.
Oh, for sure. Okay. So let's rewind the clock here.
Okay.
March 16th, 1957, 8:00 a.m.
All right.
Picture this. Alexandria, Virginia, a 300-foot-long spacecraft
Whoa.
descends from the sky,
Okay.
landing in a field.
Right.
Two local police officers, probably expecting anything but this,
Yeah.
approach the craft, guns drawn,
Oh, wow.
and out steps not a little green man,
Right.
but a man, a strikingly handsome man, described as being almost inhumanly perfect.
It's an image that immediately captures the imagination, right?
Yeah.
And according to the book, this man calmly requests to meet with the President of the United States.
Of course.
I mean, not your typical day for those police officers, I'd say.
No, definitely not. So this is where things take an even more intriguing turn.
Okay.
The man identifies himself as Valiant Thor and claims to be from Venus.
Venus.
Venus. And, we all know Venus today as a scorching inferno.
Yeah, a planet hostile to life as we understand it.
It's true. The surface temperature on Venus is hot enough to melt lead,
Yeah.
and the atmosphere is incredibly dense and toxic.
Right.
So if we're going by our current scientific understanding,
Uh-huh.
it seems highly improbable, if not impossible, for a human-like being to originate from there.
That's what makes it so interesting, right? I mean, it begs the question, could there be more to Venus than we know?
Right.
Or is there more to Valiant Thor's story
Right.
than meets the eye?
Yeah.
Perhaps he's not really from Venus.
Maybe.
Maybe he's from a dimension or a planet that we haven't discovered yet.
Yeah. Could be some interdimensional being.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's all very mysterious.
So mysterious. So what was Valiant Thor's purpose on Earth? What was his mission?
Oh, according to Strange's account,
Okay.
Thor was on a mission of peace.
Okay.
He wanted to offer humanity advanced technology that could solve many of our problems. Things like a composite energy device for clean, unlimited energy, and a replicator.
Wow.
A device that could duplicate any material. Imagine the implications if these technologies existed.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
It's a tantalizing thought. Imagine a world without energy scarcity, without poverty,
Right.
without the need for resource extraction.
It sounds almost utopian, doesn't it?
It does.
But of course, we need to remember that these claims come solely from Strange's book, and there's no independent verification.
Right.
Right?
Which makes it all the more intriguing.
Yeah.
So Thor's presence in the United States, if it did occur, seems to have been shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah.
The book claims he spent 3 years living at the Pentagon,
3 years.
the heart of American military power.
Imagine a being from another planet walking the halls of the Pentagon,
I know.
meeting with President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, high-ranking military officials.
Right.
The story even suggests he attended a church in Alexandria, offering messages of peace and love. It sounds almost too incredible to believe.
It does, but that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
Right.
We're dealing with a story that's both captivating and perplexing.
Absolutely.
So far, we've got a mysterious visitor,
Yeah.
extraordinary claims of advanced technology, and whispers of high-level government meetings.
It's the perfect setup for a story that continues to intrigue and inspire.
It really is, and in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore some of the evidence or lack thereof surrounding Valiant Thor's alleged visit.
All right.
We'll dig deeper into the book's author, Frank E. Stranges, and consider the motivations behind crafting such a tale.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
It's a great story, you know?
Yeah.
But it really leaves you wondering,
Yeah.
where's the proof?
Right.
What evidence supports Valiant Thor's existence and his alleged visit to Earth?
Yeah, you'd think an event of this magnitude
Right.
would leave some kind of trace.
Exactly.
Official documents, photographs,
Right.
eyewitness accounts.
Yeah, from credible sources. Something.
Something.
But the reality is we have none of that.
Right.
No declassified government files.
Right.
No public statements from anyone claiming to have met Thor.
Uh-huh.
No irrefutable photographing evidence.
Well, there are photographs that some people claim are of Valiant Thor,
Right.
but their authenticity is hotly debated.
Yeah.
Some say they're genuine, while others argue they're doctored images or
Right.
simply pictures of ordinary people
Right.
misidentified as Thor.
And that lack of tangible evidence is a major hurdle for those who believe in this story.
Yeah, it raises the question.
Yeah.
If Thor's mission was so significant, why wouldn't there be more concrete proof?
It's a really good question.
Yeah, it's a puzzle, for sure.
It is.
But some people point to that lack of evidence as a confirmation of a government cover-up.
Right.
You know, they argue that the authorities are deliberately suppressing information
Yeah.
about extraterrestrial contact.
Right.
They believe stories like Thor's are just the tip of the iceberg, glimpses into a hidden reality.
It's a compelling argument, especially for those who already believe in the possibility of alien visitation.
Right.
But for skeptics, the absence of proof strengthens their doubts.
For sure.
They often cite Occam's razor, the idea that the simplest explanation is usually the most likely.
Right.
In this case, the simplest explanation is that Valiant Thor never existed.
Right. But even if the story is a fabrication,
Yeah.
it's hard to deny its enduring appeal.
It really is.
Why do you think this particular story, out of all the UFO tales out there, continues to resonate with people?
I think it taps into several deep-seated human desires and anxieties. You know,
Yeah.
for one, it offers a sense of hope.
Okay.
The idea that a benevolent alien species is watching over us,
Right.
offering guidance and solutions to our problems,
Uh-huh.
can be comforting in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain.
It's almost like a modern-day myth.
Yeah.
A story that speaks to our subconscious longings for a better world.
Exactly.
And let's not forget the element of mystery. The story is filled with unanswered questions,
Right.
tantalizing hints of hidden truths,
Yeah.
and the possibility of uncovering something truly extraordinary.
It's a catnip for the imagination.
Yeah,
That kind of narrative naturally draws people in.
for sure. And it's not just about extraterrestrial contact.
Right.
It's about the potential for a different future.
Yeah.
Thor's supposed messages about peace,
Yeah.
unity,
Uh-huh.
and advanced technology resonate with a lot of people,
Right.
especially those who are disillusioned with the state of the world today.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the Cold War backdrop of the story.
Right.
The world was on edge, fearing nuclear annihilation.
Right.
A story about a peaceful alien visitor might have been a welcome distraction,
Yeah.
a glimmer of hope in a time of darkness.
It makes you wonder if the story, whether intentionally or not,
Right.
was a product of its time, reflecting the fears and anxieties of the Cold War era.
It's a possibility, and that brings us to Frank E. Strange's,
Okay.
the man who brought this story to the world.
Right, the author of Stranger at the Pentagon.
Yeah,
We mentioned earlier that he was a Christian minister and a UFO enthusiast.
that's right.
Do you think his background might have influenced the way he presented the story?
It's certainly worth considering.
Yeah.
Strange's was deeply involved in the UFO community
Okay.
and held strong beliefs about the existence of extraterrestrial life.
Mm-hmm.
His religious background also likely shaped his interpretation of the events he described.
He frames this story in a way that suggests
Yeah.
Thor's mission had a spiritual dimension
Right.
with themes of peace, love,
Right.
and a warning against humanity's self-destructive tendencies.
And that framing likely resonated with a particular audience,
Right.
especially those who were already inclined to believe in UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial intervention in human affairs.
So even if we set aside the question of belief,
Yeah.
there's something undeniably captivating about the narrative itself.
Oh, absolutely.
The story has all the elements of a classic myth.
Okay.
A mysterious stranger, extraordinary abilities,
Yeah.
a message of hope,
Yeah.
and a disappearance that leaves us with more questions than answers.
It's a story that sticks with you,
Yeah.
even if you're skeptical.
Yeah.
And it raises some fundamental questions about how we interpret history, how we construct narratives,
Right.
and what we choose to believe.
So we've got this captivating story
Yeah.
with deep roots in Cold War anxieties and a healthy dose of mystery.
Right.
And at the center of it all is Valiant Thor.
A figure who, despite the lack of evidence, continues to inspire curiosity and debate. It's amazing how this story has kind of woven its way into our culture.
It really is. Even if you haven't read the book,
Right.
you might have encountered, references to Valiant Thor
Uh-huh.
in movies, TV shows, online discussions.
Yeah, it's true. The story has a life of its own, independent of its factual basis. It's
Yeah.
become a sort of modern-day legend passed down through generations of UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists.
It's interesting how that happens.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to see why.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, it's a story with a compelling narrative, intriguing characters,
Uh-huh.
and a message that resonates with certain anxieties and desires.
It's a story that offers a sense of wonder, a glimpse into a world where anything is possible.
Right.
And that can be incredibly appealing, especially in a world that often feels limited by our current understanding of science and technology.
It also prompts us to consider what might be out there
Yeah.
beyond our immediate perception.
Right.
What if there are beings far more advanced than us,
It's a great question.
visiting our planet, observing us,
Right.
perhaps even trying to help us?
It's a tantalizing thought.
It is.
Yeah.
And even if we dismiss the story of Valiant Thor as fiction,
Yeah.
it still raises some fundamental questions
Absolutely.
about our place in the universe.
Yeah. Are we alone? Are there other intelligent beings out there? And if so, what might their intentions be?
Right. It makes you look up at the night sky with a sense of awe and wonder.
It really does.
What if somewhere out there amongst the stars there are beings like Valiant Thor?
Watching over us, hoping for our best.
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it?
It is.
And even if it's just a fantasy, it speaks to our inherent curiosity about the unknown,
Right.
our desire to explore, to discover, to connect with something greater than ourselves.
And maybe that's the enduring legacy of the Valiant Thor story.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not so much about whether he actually existed or not.
Right.
It's about the questions it raises,
Yeah.
the possibilities it suggests,
Yeah.
and the sense of wonder it inspires.
It's a reminder that there's still so much we don't know about the universe.
For sure.
And that maybe, just maybe, there are mysteries out there waiting to be uncovered, stories waiting to be told.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the intriguing tale of Valiant Thor,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Whether you believe the story or not,
Uh-huh.
allow it to spark your curiosity. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep looking up at the sky with a sense of wonder. Thanks for joining us at Explore,